Main Street. This is Ryan Mack, your host, a show that's helping individuals get jobs, create jobs, and manage money from the jobs. What better place in the world, as we're talking about economic solutions, to go than the Southwest Economic Solutions? We're here with the Executive Director of Southwest Economic Solutions, Hector Hernandez. Thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure to be with you, Ryan.
And so you all have been doing some tremendous work here, Southwest Economic Solutions. You have been changing lives, and we talk a lot about the perspective of making sure that we can shift the conversation from only talking about politics to economics. But you all have a mission to really make sure that as individuals walk in the door, that you're changing their lives around. Talk a little bit about what you're doing on a day-to-day basis.
So our mission is to lead in providing opportunities for individuals to achieve greater economic success. Fundamentally, we're in the individual economic development space, and we do that by integrating our program offerings to help individuals achieve their initial and subsequent goals. And it's customized to each individual. We'll do an assessment of their starting point and help them decide on which path they want to take, and integrate our offerings so they achieve their goals more quickly. And then the trajectory of economic growth is something that they can drive and they can know and we can assist with.
So if Joe Smo walks in the door now, he hasn't had a job, and you're able to walk them through, because you talk a lot about your workforce development and readiness program. Talk a little bit about that. So if Joe Smo walks in the door right now, how are you helping out Joe?
So fundamentally, we're going to meet Joe where he's at, right? We're going to do an assessment. Hey, you're going to bare your soul a little bit, and we're going to not make any judgment about what the starting point is. Just we need to understand where they're at, and then understand what their interests are, and then create a program and a model around what their needs are, and then help them achieve their goals. So, if Joe wants to, he's unemployed, he's long-term unemployed, probably a skills gap there, probably dropped out of school. And so he's been disconnected. So doing that assessment with him and then laying out options. And we have multiple options that they can select from in demand sectors. So employers are coming to us and saying, I want to hire Detroiters. I need folks in carpentry. I need folks that can drive a truck. I need forklift operators. I need coders. I need individuals that can work in all these different skill areas. And so what we do is we find individuals that have an interest in one of those career paths. We'll do the assessment. We'll engage them in a robust work readiness component. The foundational skills are where we start. So math, reading, computer skills.
So if individuals have low literacy levels, you can assist them in making sure that you can get their literacy levels up to date.
We run 3 adult learning labs. We see that as a critical component to our work and a critical component to our success. If the math and reading levels aren't at a certain level, they won't be able to complete the technical training in those in-demand sectors. So we'll focus on that to start, so that when they do connect with that in-demand training opportunity, and we partner with the city departments, Detroit Employment Solutions Corporation has a huge cadre of employers that are waiting in the wings for Detroiters that are work ready and trained. And so we're connecting to those opportunities.
And this is so crucial, because how do you feel when individuals say, for instance, if you talk about McDonald's, right? And many individuals, they say, McDonald's is now hiring, cashiers that are essentially robots or machines, and they're saying that's taking jobs away. Would you say that's taking jobs away? Or are you helping individuals get the jobs that could eventually down the line help to create those robots and be the engineers that down the line they could be the ones who start to design those robots and still having that same type of job?
Yeah, so there's many entry-level positions. You named one of them, but I mean, there are opportunities that we connect individuals to that are a starting point.
Right.
And as they gain skills, they'll come back to us and they'll stay engaged with our navigators, our coaches, who can either connect them to another training opportunity or another employment opportunity. If they're at that point where they can automatically apply to something else, we'll connect them to that as well.
And so you actually have individual coaches who sit down with individuals and they walk and they hold their hand through the entire process.
So they have to own the path that they're taking. We
Right.
connect them, we empower them to do that. But that relationship that we form, our coaches form with our the clients that we serve, it's a never-ending relationship. So we've had people come back to us 3-4 years later and still engaged and maybe ready. They've sustained a good employment opportunity. They're making good money, and whereas they started out in maybe a tax foreclosure situation, we connected them to a workforce development opportunity, secured gainful employment. They might be ready now to buy their own home. And so we have home buyer education counselors here that can help them with that opportunity.
Wow.
connect them to down payment assistance.
So fiscal responsibility, financial literacy, all those things you're taking care of in-house.
They're all taken care of, and they're all integrated.
And the magic question is, how much of individuals are paying for all these services
These
you're
services
offering?
are free.
I'm saying it one more time
These
because
services
many individuals
are absolutely free.
So again, how does one able to afford? I mean, you're servicing almost 2,000 individuals a year within Southwest Economic Solutions. Within Southwest as a whole, you're servicing almost 20,000 individuals. So how does one able to afford making sure that all these services are provided? Because they're not necessarily free, but they're free to the individuals. But they have to be paid somehow because you're doing one-on-one consultation. It seems like a lot. It seems like a lot going on here.
So we have a phenomenal team at Southwest Solutions, starting with our president and CEO, John Van Camp. But we have a really focused executive leadership team that helps us connect to, our funding partners, all the local foundation communities, certainly the local municipalities avail opportunities so that we can provide those training opportunities to Detroiters. So we've got a whole team that focuses just on that, to make sure we're providing real opportunities for Detroiters.
And this is exactly why I wanted to come here, because again, our mantra is getting jobs, creating jobs, and managing money from the job. And in some form, whether directly or indirectly, you all are doing all of those things under the very same roof. You're helping individuals get jobs. You're creating jobs because the employers who use you are being able to grow and expand their services by getting qualified individuals. And you're helping individuals manage money from the jobs with fiscal responsibility skills that you're doing day to day.
So we have an entire team focused just on financial capabilities and money management and helping folks, achieve their goal of home ownership. And sometimes that takes 12 months, sometimes that takes 24 months. But we have coaches that are just focused, and counselors that are just focused solely on that to help them manage their money better. Climb that economic ladder, and we're there to help them achieve that.
And so what drives you personally? I mean, because I know you've been doing this work for a long time, and in some form or another, you've been helping individuals to save their houses, and you've been all throughout the state, because Southwest doesn't only work within Detroit, they work wherever there's a need, correct?
Sure. So first of all, I'm born and raised in Southwest Detroit, so
Okay.
it's a labor of love for me to be offering the programming that we do based out of Southwest Detroit. And Southwest Detroit is our heart and home, but the reality is our work takes us throughout the city.
Right.
And we've been invited to provide workforce training and adult learning and financial capabilities and entrepreneurship throughout the city. And where there's a gap in service provision, a need for the type of integrated service offerings that we provide, and there's a host, a willing partner, we'll bring these services throughout the city. So at this point, we're not only on the east side and southwest, we're in the north end, we're in Grand Mount Rosedale, we're in Cody Rouge, we're throughout the city.
As an executive director of Southwest Economic Solutions, you've probably seen a litany of individuals come through your doors. What do you think is the one thing that you feel that gives that aha moment that yes, we can be successful even in because regardless of what the stock market says, there's a lot of individuals out there who could care less that we've seen record highs in the stock market. Well, not as of lately, but so what is the one thing that individuals have seen that you say, you know what, I got an aha moment, I can be successful, I can, even though the economy is not good for me right now in my personal situation. How do you turn that light on with individuals who might not see as much hope as what you like them to see?
Well, when you work with individuals, and I can give you I can point to an individual in the last 6 months that was not only, and he was a refugee, and we've been working with him for longer than 6 months, mind you, but he's a refugee who didn't speak the English language. So we helped him with that at the Adult Learning Lab, who didn't have employment opportunity, who didn't know the ins and outs of financial capabilities, who enrolled in an entrepreneurship program, our Prosperous program, completed that, and accessed technical expertise that he needs. So the business services to launch a business, a microloan to help start the business. We provide all that as well.
Wow.
So it's not only a robust 12-session, within a 20-week window training track for entrepreneurship. It's all the business services that they'll need to help launch that business, inclusive of a microloan. So if an individual with no friends or relatives in the community, didn't speak the language, can navigate all those things to help launch a business, and we'll be launching a brick and mortar operation.
And this is somebody that you work with under your roof.
Correct.
So just to recap, because I want people to pause on this, and just really think about the fact that you're saying that he spoke only English, and very limited English. went through your services, and now on the other side of the services, not only is he speaking, I guess, decent English now, you're saying?
Oh, he's on film right now.
Okay. So he's speaking English, and he started a business. You help him get a microloan, and he's creating jobs for other people. So he went from not speaking English to now creating jobs for the community and helping to pay the build the taxpayer base. You know, how does that make you feel when you see those types of individuals coming through the doors here at Southwest?
Well, it's really rewarding, and that individual is helping us pay it forward by sharing his story and helping us and even mentoring other entrepreneurs. And you know, if he can do it, certainly any Detroiter in this town with a minimal level of skills, we can help them as well.
And how much did he pay for those services?
He didn't pay, I think maybe a registration fee, which was probably discounted, less than $100, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, I say that in tongue in cheek because what you all are doing here, again, is a service that it's priceless services. It's a nonprofit. All you have to do is just have a vision and a dream. It seems like, and just come in here and you help people make things happen.
And it's, you know, I mean, it's changing lives in the neighborhood. So I mean, that's the other refreshing part about our work, rewarding part about our work is that, you know, our work is place-based and it's neighborhood-based. You hear, you know, people lament about the opportunities that are downtown. Our work is focused in the neighborhoods, working with neighborhood residents, trusted community partners that are willing to partner with us to bring the services that we avail to their residents, to their community, for the benefit of their community. And who better to support a neighborhood than a neighborhood entrepreneur, you know, who launched something and is supported by his neighbors.
And so I know someone out there who sees the good work that you're doing and hearing about it. How can they better support? Because many times we see individuals doing all this fabulous work in our communities, but we don't necessarily do what we need to do to make sure we can sustain those efforts.
Sure.
Because you've got a staff, you said 2,000 individuals here with Southwest Economic Solutions. What can individuals do to help sustain, to make sure that next year you all are doing the same thing, but on a bigger and better basis to help more people do what the stories that you just told me that you have individuals?
So there's opportunities at every level. I mean, starting with, you know, volunteering opportunities at our adult learning lab. I mean, the individuals that we work with need a lot of hands-on tutoring. So if you have a passion for tutoring, there's opportunities there. Obviously, economic and monetary support helps us deliver these services because there's always a gap in funding. There's blips in what we're able to raise, and so anything that individuals can do to support our work is greatly appreciated and critical to the work that we do going forward.
And so I hope that individuals heed the message. I hope that individuals are listening to the fact that this is the type of work that we need to get behind and support. And so how can people get a hold of you?
So our website is www.swsol.org. Our office line is 313-841-9641. We're always staffed. We're always available. And again, we meet folks where they're at to help them achieve their goals.
Well, thank you, Hector Hernandez, for coming out today. Being on Main Street, you're doing a phenomenal job, and I hope that we're going to have this information all throughout the links in below the tube. And I hope that you can also understand that, listen, you can't let him do the work by himself. You can support it. You can donate. We are urging all our individuals to please do so. And thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right.